Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kirill, I'm from Russia. I'm a native speaker of Russia and I make videos to help you understand not just the Russian language but how people actually speak today. This video is all about modern Russian slang, the words and expressions you will hear in a real conversation on the internet and memes and mainly among young people. I would say that people mostly use this slang before the age of 30 and especially teenagers. I'll explain what they mean, when to use them, and give you real life examples so you can actually remember them. And I think many people are familiar with such expressions since many of them come directly from English. Let's start with one of the most popular words right now, cringe. It comes directly from English cringe and it describes something awkward, embarrassing, painful to watch. For example, imagine your friend tries to flirt in a very awkward way at a party. You might say, "Это был такой cringe," which means that it was so cringe. I once saw a guy in a cafe trying to impress a girl by speaking broken English with a fake accent, even though she was Russian. There was pure cringe. Another very common word is жиза. It comes from the word жизнь, meaning life, and it used when something is extremely relatable. Imagine your friend says, "Я опять проспал, опоздал на работу," meaning I overslept and was late for work again. You can just reply жиза, which translates roughly as story of my life. You know that moment when your alarm rings, you turn it off, close your eyes just for a minute, and then wake up an hour later. That's жиза. Next is vibe. It also comes directly from English word vibration. There is a winter snowstorm outside the window, a garland lights are flickering in the room, a fire in the fireplace, you're holding it in your hands, and your favorite slow track is quietly coming from the speakers. You feel pleasantly calm. That's vibe. You know that nothing that the word has many meaning. Vibe is used both as a synonym for atmosphere, as a synonym for mood, feeling, impression, energy, or even your inner state. For example, you can say, "This cafe has a very cozy vibe," meaning special atmosphere, or "Your vibe is close to me," meaning that our feelings, energy, and views coincide. Moving on, we have hype, another borrowing from English word hype. It means something that trend, very popular, getting a lot of attention. For example, этот сериал сейчас на хайпе, meaning this show is really trending right now. You've probably seen this when a new gadget or show comes out and everyone is talking about it. That's hype. Now let's talk about more uniquely Russian word, zashkvar. It originally comes from the prison slang, but today is widely used in everyday speech. It describes something shameful, socially unacceptable, or embarrassing in a stronger way than just awkward. It's often said zashkvar when a person wearing any kind of clothes, listening to any kind of music, whatever. For example, это просто зашквар means that just disgraceful. This kind of thing where you think you really shouldn't have done that. This is a very subjective concept. For someone it is situation zashkvar and for other it's not. Actually, this is a pretty rude word, I'd prefer not to use it. Next is imba, which comes from gaming culture and it means something that extremely powerful or impressively good, almost unfairly. So you might say это телефон просто имба, meaning this phone is insanely good. Or if your friend somehow finishes all his work in 1 hour and relaxes for the rest of the day, you could jokingly say ты имба, you are imba. Then we have aru, which literally means I'm screaming, but in slang it means I'm laughing really hard. For example, я с этого просто ору translates to I'm dying laughing at this. Your friend sends you a funny meme and you can reply aru. A very simple but useful word is tilt, a state of lost control, intense irritation originating from gambling and esports. This unstable state disrupts concentration, leads to mistake and loss of self-control. In this state, a person may commit impulsive, rash acts which worsen the situation. For example, today I failed the exam, I am in tilt. Moving on, we have normies. This is used to describe an ordinary person with the most common views, interests, tastes, and mass culture without any quirks. Far removed from memes, subcultural, underground culture, normies is a collective image of boring majority. The word has a derogatory connotation for teenagers, but in general, this is just an ordinary person who works at a regular job, listening to pop music, not wearing brand, and has more traditional views on life. As the teenagers grow up, they will unwittingly discover that most of them has become normies themselves. And finally, skoof. It's more uniquely Russian word. This expression refers to a man over the age of 30 who do not look very neat, with unkempt stubble, with bald spot and overweight man. They spend their free time drinking beer, watching TV, or play computer games. Usually, this word has a derogatory connotation, but sometimes it is used ironically to describe a person who, for example, instead of hanging out with friend, decided to just play computer games at home. And one important thing to understand is that Russian slang, like in any other language, changes very quickly. What's popular today may sound outdated in a year. And of course, these expressions are used in a formal conversation. Using them in a formal setting can sound strange. For example, using cringe in a business meeting is probably not a great idea. If you want to sound natural in Russia, slang is essential, but you don't need to use everything at once. Start with a few words like cringe or жиза, use them in context, and gradually expand your vocabulary. Language is not just the grammar, it's about culture, timing, and emotional. If you enjoyed this, let me know, and I can second part with even more slang, including expressions that are truly rare, more unique. And if you heard any Russian slang before, tell me and I explain it next time. Thanks for watching. I hope it was interesting and useful. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube and see you later.